Guys, we have a fraud amongst us. We have a fraud amongst us, man. And we are being used by this fraud. Well, the question is he a fraud? That's the big question. We're gonna debate that today and get your opinions on it as well. Marzio been speaking. If you don't know, Marzio is a journalist based out of Italy. And he's been saying some stuff about Manchester City and some of our transfer activities, some of our transfer plans. But I'm calling cap. Yeah? I'm calling cap, bro. I think the guy, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really get it, to be honest with you. He's saying, right, before we do that, let's do the standard stuff. Let's get the yeses in the chat. Let's do some shout-outs. I'm not done a shout-out for ages. And then we'll speak about this potential fraud guy. Big up to Mad Dog. Big up to Aaron. Big up to JMC's in the building as well. Justin, Robert McCluskey. Big up to Lizzie. Hold that still, Lizzie, because obviously we knocked you out and we're going to be European champions tonight. Hopefully. Probably won't be. Athandiel, Keegan, Fraser, Canada's in the building. Obviously, Canada as well have got a match tonight, haven't they? Canada FC. Oh, they drew. Oh, they won. No, they didn't. They lost. Shit. Omar, Dave, yes, bro. Big up to Austin, George, Rodrigo, Yuv, Raj, yes, bro. Big up to you. Big up to Daniel. Yeah, bro. I actually genuinely didn't know. Yeah, that was last night. I thought it was tonight, man, but tonight's the final, isn't it? Right, guys. So basically, if you've not seen the news, Marzio is a journalist based out of Twitter. Now, to be honest with you, his reputation amongst, I would say, a lot of British fans, especially Manchester City fans, isn't the best, really, if we're being honest with you. A lot of City fans, myself included, don't really think like is a great journalist, if we're being honest with you, in terms of like reliability. Like, for example, if I was to do a stream and Marzio was the source of the news, a lot of people would be like, I'm not really sure this is going to happen. So it is what it is. But anyway, he said, right, let me try and share screen. Oh, it's working. Fucking buzzing. We got it fixed, man. We actually got the PC fixed, guys. Look at this, what he's saying. He's saying this. Bit with JMC there in the comments as well. Man City are pushing to close the signing of Dani Olmo by Tuesday, claims Marzio. Now, that's interesting because, of course, there is a football match tonight. Spain versus England in the Euro final. And he's Spanish. So if City get the deal done on Tuesday, that means there's going to be, 2 days post-final for this deal to be completed. Now, there are speculations saying that his release clause ends on the 20th of July. It's up for debate. Different people are saying different things. I've seen Fabrizio saying one thing. I've seen Tommy saying another thing as well. But this is the thing with Marzio, yeah. He's come out and said that. And then City Extra posted this. We now understand that there is nothing in the latest reports around Manchester City and Dani Olmo. So what's going on here? And this is why the title of the stream, guys, yeah, is Man City being used? Because I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this going, well, hang on a minute here. What's going on? I'm being told by Marzio that this deal could get done by Tuesday. But then we're being told that actually there's nothing in it at all, and that is fake news. So what is actually going on, man? What is actually going on here, yeah? Because for me, I just don't really understand it. Do you know what I mean? Now, I would say this. He does have a release clause, so a deal could be done by Tuesday. 100% that could be done. Like, it's not a thing where it's like, oh, that's definitely not going to happen. Like, it is possible because he's got a release clause. And it's actually pretty low at 50 million quid, guys. If you're being honest, in today's market, yeah, I think Dani Olmo for 50 million quid is pretty cheap, to be honest with you. He's 26 years old. He's got plenty of experience in the game. He's only just turned 26 as well, a month or two ago. International experience, Champions League experience. Very, very cheap price, really, if we're being honest. But obviously, then there is the thing about the injuries, which I know we've covered a lot. So this deal could get done. It's not like Bruno Guimaraes, yeah, at Newcastle, where even though there was a release clause, it's 100 million quid. And whilst we know City do love release clauses, 100 million quid's a lot of money. Now, yes, they did pay it for Grealish, but were they going to pay that as well for Bruno? I don't know. I don't think they were ever going to pay that. Dani Olmo at 50 mil, potentially. So it's definitely something that could get done, this deal. It's definitely something that could get done. But now we're being told that actually, no, there's nothing in the latest reports. So I don't really know what's going on here. And then I have to think to myself as well, do we even need this guy? Do we even need Dani Olmo? I mean, I think there is an argument for both viewpoints of yes, we do and no, we don't. I look at it and I think, well, hang on a minute. Let's have a look at the squad, right? Let's obviously, this provides that no one leaves. Bernardo Silva, KDB. If one of them leaves, then obviously we need a replacement, right? But on the wings, because obviously you got to remember as well, Olmo can kind of play anywhere. That's another reason why actually it'd be pretty good signing for us, to be honest with you, because he can play anywhere. But on the wings, on the left-hand side, you've got Jack Grealish, you've got Jeremy Doku, you've got Savio, and you've got Oscar Bob. They're all, I'm just listing the 4 players there that can play left wing. All 4 of those players can play left wing, right? Right wing. Bernardo Silva, Jeremy Doku, Savio, and Oscar Bob. The only player that's not there is Grealish. Striker, at this moment in time, we still do have 2 strikers because obviously Alvarez hasn't gone anywhere. You've got Haaland and Alvarez. You don't need him there. The only position that I look at, really, that I think, yeah, maybe, is that attacking midfield position. Because if you think about it, really, we've only got Foden and Kevin De Bruyne who can play that role. Now, people will say, oh, but Bernardo Silva can play that. No, not in the creative, not in a creative way. He can play there and be the Kovacic guy. He needs a Foden. He needs a KDB because he's not the guy that's going to unlock defenses in that central position. So if Kevin De Bruyne gets injured, and I think, to be honest with you guys, if we're being honest, we're being realistic, you've got to plan for Kevin De Bruyne to be injured. You've got to plan for his hamstring to go because it probably is going to go. I know he's had the surgery, and actually, since he come back from his surgery, it actually went quite well. But he's 33. He's just had what was it? An 8-inch cut down his hamstring. Doesn't sound good, that, to me, you know what I mean? So for me, I'm looking at that thinking, I actually think in the attacking area of midfield, I actually do think that we are probably 1 player light. Now, another question that you'd have to ask, if you agree with that, is Dani Olmo, is Dani Olmo too good to be a 3rd choice? Because if you think about it, it would kind of be a 3rd choice. Now, I know there's rotation and stuff, but I don't know, man. I look at it and I think I'm not sure. I'm not against the deal. I'm not. It's a very strange deal because I don't want to sound like I'm sitting on the fence because I'm honestly not. But like, I'm not sitting here saying, yeah, we've got to get it done. But I'm also not sitting here saying, nah, I don't want it. I just like take it as it comes. You know what I mean? Like, if we get it, great. But I just look at it and I think, I'm not 100% sure where he's going to fit in. I'm not 100% sure on where he's going to play. Not going to play on the wings, is he? Let's be honest. He's not going to play on the wings. You've got to rule that out because Grealish, Doku, Savio, and Bernardo have kind of got that unlocked. He's not going to play there. He's not going to play as a striker. The only position he can play is attacking midfield. You got Foden and Kevin De Bruyne there at the moment. So I don't think he'll play too many games. That's why I think the only way we're going to get this guy is if someone leaves. And of course, we all know Bernardo Silva's still got that release clause. Kevin De Bruyne is constantly being linked with a move to Saudi Arabia. He has spoken about it and said now he's kind of happy at City, but you know, if they throw £700,000 a week at him tax-free, you never know what that could do to a man. So yeah, I don't know. Personally, I don't think it's going to happen. I actually, if you ask me on this question, yeah, I'm going to do a poll in the chat. Do I want him? I probably would say yeah. I probably would actually say yeah, but I just don't think we're going to get him. As good a deal as it is at the price, I just don't think we're going to sign him unless someone leaves. If Oscar Bob leaves on loan or gets sold, if Bernardo leaves, Kevin De Bruyne leaves, I think we'll go for it. To be honest with you, can I ask you guys a question? Why is nobody else in the Premier League going for him? 50 mil. Why is it only City being linked with him? Surely someone else has got to be linked with him. I'm surprised Arsenal are not going for him. I think he's a great player, fit in well at Arsenal. I mean, there's loads of teams. I'm honestly so shocked at the lack of interest in him. Maybe because there's already a deal done. Maybe he's already agreed to go somewhere. So yeah, listen, it is an interesting one, but I don't know what's going on with this. I mean, look at this. You know, I don't know where City Extra have got that news from. It could be their own source. Maybe they've got their own source on this. Someone's told him. Someone's told City Extra that that's not true. I don't know. I don't know where that's come from. But yeah, I mean, Marzio, mate, honestly, I just don't think this guy. I just don't think you should take what he says like with a lot of reliability, because he's said a lot of stuff in the past that has been incorrect. You know what I mean? Or hasn't come to fruition, because it might have been correct at the time that he got the information and give it to us as the viewer. Yeah. But it just never seems to be right, man. It never seems to be right. Let me do a poll in the chat. By the way, guys, make sure you guys smash the likes up in it. We've got over 200 people in here. We've got no likes. We've got 0 likes, guys. So smash the like. Do you want Dani Olmo at City? Yes, no. Simple poll. Live poll in the chat. If you're watching back on the replay, give us your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Let's have a look at what you guys are saying about it. I'll come on to Tommy in a second, bro. Let's see what you guys are saying. LB Craig said that Olmo can come in with Nunes or Kovacic is gone. Well, I think that certainly does free up a space for him. My question, though, really, Dash, isn't necessarily on the Nunes or Kovacic thing. I agree that someone probably has to leave for Nunes for Dani Olmo to come in. My question is where is Olmo going to play? Because as I've just explained, it's unlikely that he will be deployed on the wings. He could be deployed on the wings. I've seen him play on the wings quite a while. In fact, for some reason, I've watched Dani Olmo quite a lot, because I've been watching him for like I think he was in Ukraine or something, wasn't he, a few years ago. Like I just seem to have watched him for quite a bit, and you know, I don't gash you, that's honest truth. He can play on the wing, but he's probably not going to play on the wing. He can play attacking mid, but if the other two are fit, he's not going to play attacking mid. So it's like, where's he going to play? Well, I don't know. This is why I think it's an interesting one, bro. Let's have a look what you guys are saying. Apparently, his release clause will increase. I've seen a few people suggest that might be a situation. Injury prone. He does have a few injuries, bro. We spoke about that in the past. If you're buying him as a squad rotational player, I don't think it's too much of an issue. You know, if you're buying a starter, a player that's starting in your team, then I think it becomes more a bigger problem. But I don't think it's a major issue when it's sort of a squad rotational player. Built Dash, good to see you, bro. Let's have a look what you guys are saying. Dani Olmo crap, says Lengen Sweet. Crap. I don't think he's crap, bro. I think he's a good player. He's a good player. Olmo doesn't help Rodri, so it's a no from me, says Dylan. We need an 8-man, not an attacking mid. We have 2 of the best. See what all you guys are saying. I think he'll play as an 8. He could probably do that, to be honest with you. He could probably do that. So like the Gundogan role is what you're saying. You want him to do the Gundogan role, where he helps out a little box-to-box type situation. Potentially. Vitinha is class. Big up Stubbsy, mate. Big up, man. Yeah, no, it's certainly interesting. Guys, keep your votes coming in the poll, man. We need more votes in the poll. Go to the live chat and cast your vote. Let me read this super chat out. Big up MCFC, man. Always supporting the channel. I appreciate it. Says this transfer window has been fucking annoying. I can't lie at this point. We just have to listen to Sam Lee and Arnie. Otherwise, we will go crazy. I said it yesterday. I don't know if I'm pretty sure you was here yesterday. It's interesting, isn't it? How like we get so little transfer speculation from City's sort of journalists and fringe journalists, because, you know, if you look at other clubs get linked with players all the time. Ours is very quiet. I mean, obviously, we get a lot of our news on this channel. We obviously get it from Craig. Craig comes in the chat and tells us information. Obviously, you've got Tolme. You've got a few others as well. But I don't know why. I don't know why that is. Obviously, City don't like the media anymore. Maybe they just don't want to be handing out news. Maybe they just locked it off. Maybe it's something to do with the emails. Maybe it's something to do with the hacked emails. And City are just very much like, they want to keep everything under wraps, and they don't want to be giving out any information and stuff. But You know, a lot of fans. And listen, by the way, the fans are entitled to feel like this. I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, stop panicking," and that, and I get it. Some people do panic a little bit, but fans get nervous, man. Fans get anxious about the lack of news, and this is why I said, I think I said it on yesterday's show or a show that I've done recently, is that like it would help a lot when it comes to the DM position, right? Because everyone keeps on saying that we need a DM, which we do, right? And it's kind of like critical. It's a critical point. We have to get one. Here's the thing. A lot of people now are panicking because people are starting to believe that we might not sign someone. And if that happens, that is poor. It's shocking, really. If we don't sign a DM, that's shocking. And then you get City fans start to panic and say, why are we not signing him? We want to sign him. And there might be a very legitimate reason. We might be getting Fabian Ruiz. And if that's the case, he's still at the tournament. We might be getting Ugarte or Varela, who's at Copa America. You know what I mean? So there's very, very there could be a genuine reason as to why we've not signed anyone yet, right? It would help though if like they just got a little bit of information out there. Oh, City looking at this person, City looking at that person, but there's they're looking at a player that's at a tournament, just to sort of like help it a little bit, because a lot of people do get a little bit nervous. Farid, this is factually incorrect, bro. This is factually incorrect. He is not a Rodri backup. Guys, is Kovacic a Rodri backup? He's not. He's not a backup for Rodri, bro. He can't do what Rodri does. Kovacic is a player that has a very, I would say, very niche role. What he does on the pitch is very interesting, right? Because what Kovacic does is a possession player. Joshua is not a backup, mate. If you think Rodri's a backup, then we ain't going to sign a backup, innit? Because we've already got one. The facts are, Kovacic can't do what we need from a DM, which is to be quick and covering ground. Yeah, because we need someone to cover ground. Because remember, City play with usually one DM. Now, sometimes we'll go double pivot, but even when we go double pivot, someone goes further forward. You're in there on your own. You know what I mean? You're not got someone next to you 10 yards away covering that side of the pitch. Oh, you cover that side, I'll cover it. No. You've got to cover it all. And you've got to be quick in moving. Yeah, this is why Phillips fundamentally failed at our football club, because he's too slow. Yeah, there's other issues with Phillips, don't get me wrong, but like it was never going to work because he's not quick enough. You've got to be able to cover ground. This is why Fernandinho was fantastic. Yeah, fantastic, because he could do it. This is why players like Xavi Garcia and Fernando didn't really do too well, because they weren't quick enough covering the ground. Do you know what I mean? Kovacic doesn't do that. Kovacic is a possession-based player who can relieve pressure further up the pitch, a lot like Grealish, which is why you don't really want Kovacic and Grealish in the same team, really, because they both kind of do similar things, you know? So, yeah, listen, we don't have one. For me, Kovacic is not a backup. Could he play there for one game? Potentially, but he's not a backup, bro. He's not. And if he is a backup, then we won't. Why are we signing a backup DM? We're not at the moment, but we won't sign one. So we have to sign one. If it's Kimmich, why is nothing happened? Because he was knocked out of the Euros last Wednesday. Yeah, on I think it was the 4th. So he's been, it might be the 7th. Either way, it's been at least a week since Germany were knocked out. So why, if it is Kimmich, that's why I'm starting to think we're probably not going to sign Kimmich now, because I'm like, well, if it was Kimmich, why have we not been moving on that deal? Been a week since he's been knocked out, because that's what people have been telling me. People have been telling me, oh, we can't sign any players because they're at the Euros. All right, well, he's not at the Euros now. He's not been there for a week. So, you can start the ball rolling. If you start the negotiation process and the rumours start coming out, so yeah, I don't think we're going to get Kimmich. Obviously, we've been linked with Varela at Porto. Another release clause situation. It's around 60 million quid. He's a young player. So, I'm thinking, could it be Varela? He's still there. Ugarte, of course, we've been linked with him. Don't know too much about him. I don't think I've really seen him play too much, that Ugarte. I've only seen Varela play, I think, once last season, maybe twice. I watched the Arsenal game. Matt watched him twice. Definitely watched him once. Maybe it's them. I don't know. This is why I think next week, I think Martin said this as well. I think next week, guys, I think we're going to get some news next week. I'm not saying we're going to sign a player next week, but I think we're going to start getting some proper rumours, like journalists coming out saying City are starting to move on this way, City are starting to move. Because at the moment, we're getting nothing, man. And you know what? Fair play to Marzio, man. Actually giving us something to speak about, innit? But yeah, Wharton has had one season, so why not Jacob? You know what's hilarious, Steve? I don't want Wharton because I think he's kind of like what you've just said. He's had one season. He has 16 games in the Premier League. It's quite funny, right? Because I seen someone about a week ago or like 2 weeks ago when I did like a random stream. I'm pretty sure someone put in the chat Jacob Wright. Someone said it yesterday as well. And people were like, you can't have Jacob Wright. He's not played enough. But then people will say, oh, go spend 70 million on Wharton. And it's like, hang on a minute. Don't get me wrong, right? This Wharton guy looks good. He does. He's played 16 football matches. 16. Let me fact check that. Adam Wharton. Transfermarkt. Stat. And it's like, well, hang on a minute. People are like, no, you can't have Jacob Wright play. He's not played any games. Well, no, it's Adam Wharton. He's played 19 matches. He's played 1,214 minutes in the Premier League, which is equivalent to 13.5 games of full matches. It's just kind of like, honestly, man, it's insane. I just don't really. I like Wright. I think Wright's a good player, and I think he'd suit our system really well. But of course, my opinion is, to answer Steve, is that I would prefer someone more experienced, which is why I'm not. This is why I'm not sold on Wharton, because he's played 13 football. I mean, they want 60 mil. 60 to 70 mil Palace want for him. You're telling me we're going to pay 60 million quid for a guy that's played 13 matches in the Premier League? 13. 60 mil for a guy that's played 13 games. This is why I'm not sold on João Neves as well, for the similar reasons. He's played a few more than Wharton, but he's still only played 70 professional football games in his career. It's what, 2 seasons? So it's almost 1 season for Rodri, that, isn't it? The amount of games that guy plays. I just think that I need someone a little bit. I'm not saying I want someone old. Go get me a 24-year-old if you want. But I just need someone that's like, because again, if this is Pep Guardiola's last year, and this is where my opinion starts to change, and I've said this before. If this is Pep Guardiola's last year, I don't want him to have an 18-year-old, a 19-year-old. Yeah, I want him to have someone who's got experience, who's got quality. Because say we get to Champions League final, yeah, or Champions League semi-final, and Rodri's injured, yeah, touch wood, that don't happen. And it's his last season, and we go into that and we play an 18-year-old or someone that's played hardly any football in that game, and they don't have a good game. We're sitting there thinking, why did we do that? It was Pep Guardiola's last year, and we give him someone with no experience. So don't really want that. My opinion starts to shift. That's why by the way, that's why I prefer Kimmich and Bruno over João Neves, because of the experience. If Pep Guardiola signs a new contract, I am more open. I'm more open to the idea of getting a Wharton or a João Neves. Much more open, because it's not his last year, and I'm like, okay, it's not as like crucial, you know. So anyway, that's where I'm at with it, man. Rico, a lot of people say Rico Lewis. Rico's not physical enough in there for me yet. I think he just needs. I think he could probably do it. But I think he needs maybe a year or two to develop fully. He's still only young, man. Remember, he's still very young, Rico Lewis. Let's have a look at some of these chaps coming in. Steve said, no one experienced unless utility will want to be an understudy or less game time. No, this for me, this is why you've got to buy. This is why I've said, Steve, because I agree with you. This is why I said you can't buy a backup DM. It has to be someone like a Bruno or a Kimmich who can play with Rodri, alongside Rodri, and when Rodri needs a rest, can play there. And you rotate think of it. The way I think of it is we've got 4 players. Rodri, Foden, KDB, and the new guy. All 4 of those need to be rotated. So you need to buy one more, like Gundogan, who can rotate with all those 4. And you just rotate the 4. There's plenty of matches. You just rotate them. So, one game you might go, let's say we get Kimmich. One game you might play Rodri, Kimmich, Foden. Another game you might play Rodri, Kimmich, KDB. Another game you might play Rodri, Foden, KDB. Another game you might play Kimmich, Foden, KDB. You could play Kimmich, Rodri, Foden. You know, there's lots of different things that you could do if you get that extra player. But this is why I've said it for some time. I don't think you can buy a backup DM. Now, if you don't sign anyone who can play with Rodri, just buy a backup DM anyway. Because it's better to have someone than not have anyone at all. So this is not me saying, well, LB, you said that you didn't want us to sign a backup DM. No. I want us to sign someone that can play with Rodri, but can also play in the Rodri position when needed, like Gundogan. But if we can't find that player, and the only option is to buy just a backup DM who will only be a backup and a sub player, basically, do it because we need someone. Yeah. Exactly, man. Exactly. Who will get promoted from the EDS? Well, Jacob Wright obviously could do it, but again, are you ready for that? Lewis, Nunes, Bob are not good enough to come in and do a job. I think that I completely disagree on Rico Lewis, bro. Rico Lewis has been thrown in the deep end multiple times and has been very, very good. So to say come in and do a job, I think that we've already proved. Not remember when Rico Lewis, when we went to Emirates, we lost 1-0. He was one of our better players that day. Great player. I think Rico Lewis has done that. Nunes, as I've said, Nunes just doesn't really fit our style. Oscar Bob, still early. I don't know if he can come in and do a job because we've not seen him play consistently, but he's certainly a good player and one that we need to keep our eye on 100%. LB, would you rather sell Alvarez to Spurs or Arsenal if you had the choice? Wherever, bro. You know what I mean? Like, wherever. It's just, you know what I find hilarious about that though, right? I remember, yeah, and everyone else was. We literally told Arsenal fans when Arsenal signed Jesus, yeah, we literally told them, you signed a winger. What? You've signed a winger, not a striker. No, we signed a striker. Gabriel Jesus is a striker. No. You've not signed a striker. He's a winger. I'm telling you now, Jesus' best position is on the wing, man. He's not clinical enough in front of goal. He's just not. He never has been at City, and he never will be. He's just not that guy. He's not got it, right? His best position's on the wing. Facts. Said it all the time. And you know what's mad? Yeah, I actually think he's a pretty solid winger, you know. I actually think he's a pretty good winger. Like, pretty good. Zubimendi, potentially. Exactly, Dash, man. Exactly, bro. Big up MCFC says, I truly believe we'll end up signing Bruno, but I might be too hopeful, which will be a 10 out of 10 signing. Also, keep up the good work, LB. Big up, man, for the donation, bro. He also sends another one. I truly believe we'll be end up signing Bruno. Wait, is this the same super chat, bro? Oh, this is the same. Bro, you'd have to super chat again, bro. I appreciate the super chat and the donation, but you didn't have to super chat again because of the typo, bro. You know what I mean? Big up, man. Big up. You didn't need to do that. You didn't need to do that, but I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Listen, I don't think we're getting Bruno. Mate. I just don't see it. Man. I just don't see it. I'd take it. I would. I'd actually like Bruno, man. I think Bruno and Rodri. Bruno, Rodri, KDB, Bruno, Rodri, Foden. That midfield three would be absolutely insane. I really do. I really do think that. But I just don't see it happening. The guy doesn't really seem like he wants to leave. He seems very happy at Newcastle. You know what I mean? They said to him I remember him saying like, "Oh yeah, I'm happy at Newcastle, but there's just like maybe some FFP issues." I don't really think, bro. I honestly don't think that he wants to leave. And if you don't want to leave, then we're not going to get him. We're not going to get him, really. So yeah, I like to say we need someone. Be interesting to see who we end up getting because we are going to get someone, right? We have to get someone. In my opinion, we have to get someone. Is there? In fact, let me ask you a question. Is there anybody in this chat? How many people are in this chat right now? There's 331 people watching right now, yeah? And obviously there's people watching back on replay. So if you're watching back on replay, give me comments down below. Is there anyone watching this who thinks that we actually don't need a DM? That we actually are okay with Kovacic? That we actually are okay with Jacob Wright? Genuine question. Is there anyone here that if we didn't sign a DM, you'd be chilling? Piplup. Piplup's chill. Explain why, Pip. Look, like, why? Is it because you're happy with Kovacic? Like, what are you saying? Depends what Pep has planned. We need to aim higher with our transfer targets. Kimmich isn't a signing for the future. Why spend 30 million on Kimmich and pay him 300k a week when you get Wharton for 60 million and 10 years? Because Wharton is not proven at this level. That's the thing with Wharton. It's a gamble. It might not be good. It might come in and be crap. Now, Kimmich, you could say, well, so could Kimmich. Yeah, but Kimmich he's 29. He's got over 400 games of evidence. He's worked with Pep Guardiola before. You know what I mean? We go to the Allianz Arena. We go to Bayern Munich. We go to Real Madrid, Barcelona. Yeah, tough places to go play football. He's not going to be shitting himself. He's done it pure times. You have faith in Jacob Wright. Okay. Well, you know what then, Pep? Throw Jacob Wright in, bro. Pre-season, I want to see him playing then. Yeah? I want to see him playing early on. First game. Who's our first game against? Is it Barcelona? It's probably Barcelona. We play them every year. Celtic, right? Oh, Hugh's going to be who's Hugh going to be supporting? Hugh's a Celtic fan and a City fan. Here's a question. Throw him in against Celtic, man. Throw him in against Celtic. Give him the game, because Rodri's not going to be there. So someone's got to play there, because Rodri's definitely not going to be playing in that game. I mean, it's 10 days away. Fucking hell. Pre-season game in 10 days. See ya, Papa. Let's go. Come on, man. As if it's 10 days until City are back. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, we've been waiting for this moment for so long. I can't believe it's only 10 days away. Oh, my God, bruh. I might start a series on the channel doing a countdown day by day. It's actually 9 days. It's 9 days. Come on, bruh. Anyway, yeah. Cut the cringe, yeah? Cut the cringe. Play him against Celtic. Jacob Wright. In fact, play him against Celtic. Play him against AC Milan. Play him against Barcelona. Play him against Chelsea, right? Because I'm not being funny here. You might laugh. But Rodri might not be back for any of those games. Because if Savio's getting 4 weeks, if Savio's getting a 4-week rest, a 4-week holiday, yeah, and the guy played 37 matches last season, and he got knocked out of Copa America like a week ago, then what's Rodri going to get? You know what I mean? I mean, if you do 4 weeks from today, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's the 11th. He'll be back the day after the United game. So you might laugh, but genuinely, man. And this is the thing. This is the thing, man. You remember Wilson Esbrand? And I know, I'm not, listen, please just listen to what I actually say here before you start cooking me. Wilson Esbrand last season, in pre-season, cooked, yeah? And then, Community Shield, I said we should play him in the Community Shield. I said, play him in the Community Shield. It's a Community Shield game. It's not that big a deal, right? And a lot of people said, no, you can't play him in pre-season. It'll ruin him. He didn't play in the... Sorry, not pre-season. You can't play him in the Community Shield game. It'll ruin him. He didn't play, and you've never seen him again. So it doesn't matter. I hate it when people say, you can't play a young player in a game. It's too big for him. It'll ruin him. That's exactly what people said to me last year about Jason Wilson-Esbrand. He said, you can't play him. Yeah, you can't play him. Because the Community Shield game against Arsenal is too Josh. I always say it wrong. Josh Wilson-Esbrand, yeah? People said, no, can't play him against Arsenal in the Community Shield. It's too big a game. It will ruin him. He didn't play. Never seen him again. He went on loan. So what's the point? Just play him, man. Honestly, it's absolutely wild, bro. How can you back a player, yeah? How can you back a young player and then say, oh, no, you can't throw him in, no, it's too big. It's too big. It's too big. No, I'm not contradicting myself. I'm not contradicting myself because we already have that player, bro. We already have Wharton. We've not spent 60 million quid on him. If Jacob, we already have Wright, not Wharton. If we already had Wharton, if Wharton was in our academy, I'd say the same thing about Wharton. The point is, we already have Jacob Wright. So play him in pre-season and see what he's like. Now, I'm not saying, by the way, even if he smashes it in all 5 games, that I'll still be going, you know what? Stick with Wright. It's chill. I don't need. I probably won't, right? But at least you've seen him playing at the City team. at least you've seen it, you know. Yeah. See what else you guys are saying. Lorenzo says, get Olmo in. Play Jacob Bright while Rodri is out during pre-season. Nah, stick Kovacic at 6. Yeah, exactly. This is what we'll do, man. We'll play Kovacic in the 6. Yeah. And then we'll see no new information. And yeah, just play Jacob Bright, man. He actually might play Jacob Bright. I think Pep really likes him. I think Pep really likes Jacob Bright. And I do. I think he's a good player. Not saying that you know, I would be ready to stick him as our number 2 DM, but I'd be more willing to accept it if I've seen him play multiple games in pre-season. And you know, he can go off academy in that. But at the end of the day, academy football's a bit naff, man. You know, it's not academy football needs an overhaul, but that's a whole new situation, a whole new story that I don't want to get into. AK says we should get a DM, but I'm not losing sleep when we don't, because I've seen this club win it all, and I don't count my blessings as a fan. This is for me, bro. I will probably be very frustrated if we don't sign a DM, because I just don't think we can keep doing what we're doing with Rodri, bro. And get away with it. We have to sign someone, you know what I mean? And let's be honest as well. I'm not asking for like £100 million Bruno. I'm literally saying, go get Kimmich, man. Go get Kimmich. And people say, oh yeah, but LB, Kimmich is on mad wages. If you give Kimmich 250k a week on a 3 or 4 year contract, I think he accepts that. Because people say, yeah, but he's on 350k now. Yeah, he's on 350k. He's got 1 year left. So if you offer him 250, but over 4 years, that takes him to 33. See you later, 33. I think that's doable. It's doable. But yeah, we'll see. I like AK how you put, but when we don't, you have no faith that we're going to sign a DM in it. A big up Pitblup as well says, people just want a fancy name. Faith in right, says Pitblup. All right, then let's remember it when we're doing the watch-alongs, yeah, pre-season, and Wright plays. If he drops a stinker, bro, Pitblup's getting cooked in the chat. We all agree with that, chat, yeah? Pitbull's getting cut, man. Here's the big question, LB. Say Jacob smashes it at pre-season, becomes Rodri's number 2. How would the fans react to that? The fans have been much more open to it if he plays in pre-season. If you said to most City fans, obviously, Pitbulup's obviously seen a lot of right. I imagine Pitbulup's probably seen him play in the academy or whatever, yeah? If you say to most City fans, Jacob Wright, number 2, come on, let's go. Most City fans don't watch the academy. Right? Because not a lot of people are interested in the academy. So they'll go, no. They want someone experienced. If he plays in them 4 pre-season games and plays well in all 4 games, and you said the same thing to them after the 4 games and said, Jacob Wright, number 2, what do you think? There'd be a lot more people who are open to it. The reason why you get so much pushback on Jacob Wright, yeah, is because no one's seen him play. And, you know, to be honest with you, it probably tells us that we've got an honest fan base. Because, you know, when people go, you've seen it on YouTube, innit? You've seen it on YouTube, guys, where someone will write in the chat and say, like, oh, LB, have you seen Justin Bahajovic play in Spain? Top player, City should sign him. And then the YouTube will sit there and say, yeah, I've seen him mega, we should sign him. And it's not a real player, it's just a fake name. Yeah. It tells us actually that, you know, our fans are actually like being honest because they've not seen a lot of Jacob Wright. So it's what it is, isn't it? Is what it is. Jacob Wright watching this stream and licking his lips, innit? Yeah, I know, Jacob Wright, man. Whoa, we're down bad, innit? We're down bad. We're speaking about an academy player. Now, it'll be interesting, man. It'll be interesting to see how we get on anyway. Well, listen, I'm going to dip, man, because I'm going to go to the pub now and watch England get... if I'm being honest, I think we're going to lose, man. I hope we win. I'm not being negative. I'm just giving an honest opinion that I think we will lose because I just think Spain are going to keep the ball. But we do have a chance. We have a puncher's chance. And, yeah, let's see if England can win it, man, and bring it home, innit? You know, it's so funny, right? Like, all these people on Twitter go, oh, you English people are so arrogant singing, you're bringing it home. Yeah. We don't actually think we're going to win the thing. You know what I mean? It's a laugh. It's banter. It's banter. Matthews Nunes swap deal with Dani Olmo. You know what? Be interesting to see if Leipzig would be interested in that. They might be interested in that. They might be interested in that. He's a good player. I hate it when people slag him off and say he's shit, because he's actually not. He's a good football player, man. I've said this all the time. He's a good player. He just doesn't suit us. Honestly. Right. I think that's it, man. Listen, big up for joining me. I'm excited to get back to the regular streaming, man. I can't lie. Tomorrow might be a bit dodgy, depending on how much I drink tonight. But I'm just excited to get back to streaming. I'm excited to get shit on the wall. I'm excited just to fucking get back to it. 4 streams a day, IRL streams, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna leave you. Enjoy the game. Come on, England. Hopefully we bring it home. Probably won't. Let's see. But yeah, smash a like, subscribe. Peace out, people. See you later.